Business Brain, episode 667 for Casual Friday, July 18th, World Listening Day 2025. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, we use them, we dissect them, and we analyze them so that we can glean knowledge that allows each and every one of us to keep on living those charmed lives that we value so highly. Our sponsors for this episode include Shopify.com/businessbrain, where you can go and sign up for your $1 per month trial period, and ConstantContact.com, where you can try Constant Contact free for 30 days and make your marketing easier and more effective for your small business. We'll talk more about those in depth in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And I'm still out here in Northern California. I'm Shannon Jean. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed, man.
Yeah. That's good. Hey, as we were getting ready, we were in between the episodes, I asked ChatGPT, I put a quick prompt up there that I thought was interesting, and I thought I'd share it with you guys.
All right.
Does that sound good?
Go. Yes.
So the prompt is, and I'm sure I could do this a little bit more in depth, but I just said, tell me something unique that I have used ChatGPT for that is different than a typical user. And it came up with a really in-depth answer, which I'll talk a little bit about. And then I was like, well, what about anything else? But got to remember, ChatGPT is, I don't know the right term for this, but it's always like trying to make you sound smarter than you really are. Right?
Yeah, it's a yes man.
It's a yes man. Yeah. It's doing that stuff. So you got to keep that in mind. But so it says, oh, Shannon, you've used ChatGPT in several unique and creative ways, but one that stands out as truly different from the typical user is building your online mastermind community for resellers, and using ChatGPT to help you design the branding, logo, t-shirt concepts, developing member agreement strategy, engagement strategies, custom milestone graphics, and on and on and on. I said, oh, that's cool. That's great. And then it's like, anything else? And it says...
well, were you gonna share a second one that it came up with for you? Okay, let's go back and forth on this.
Yeah, let's do it.
I gave the same prompt, literally word for word, and this prompt is in our show notes, so you can give the same prompt word for word. Yep.
Yes.
The first one that it came up with for me was. It told me you've engineered and iteratively, easy for me to say. You have engineered and iteratively optimized a
Cloudflare. That's not
iteratively.
a word.
Iteratively. Iteratively. That's a word. You've engineered and iteratively optimized a Cloudflare worker script for anonymized request handling, including logic for and all the things that I did for to allow us to let prefix tracking happen for our sponsors without giving away exactly who you are as our listeners. And
that's pretty good.
He says, and it shared why it was unique, which I thought was interesting. It says most users might dabble in basic coding help, but your usage combines advanced serverless scripting, privacy engineering, CDN edge logic, and operational constraints, all with the goal of crafting your own version of iCloud Private Relay. That level of architectural creativity and persistence puts you in a very rare group. I would say that's true.
I would agree.
Yeah, for sure.
The way it wrapped up when I'm talking about the mastermind, it says most users come for general help or content generation. You're building a low-cost, high-value digital community, leveraging ChatGPT like a creative director. From strategy to swag. That's rare. That's pretty interesting. But
what's your second one?
The second one I thought was actually more, well, they're all pretty valuable. Coaching call transcript mining. Okay. You've uploaded hundreds of real client call transcripts and asked ChatGPT to extract patterns, build frameworks, and not just summaries. More than note-taking, you're using AI to codify your intellectual property and turn conversations into scalable systems. Most users just ask for transcript summaries. You asked for coaching insights, client archetypes, emotional patterns, and that can fuel automation and systems to help your clients. That's
Love
pretty good.
that. Yep.
Yeah, that has really helped me a lot. It took me, you can only upload like 10 at a time. I don't have the $200 version. I have the
Sure.
Plus, I guess it is. Say I have the Plus, $20.
Yeah.
But I just kept uploading them each day, and then after a few days, it had it all up there, and now I use it all the time. I say, hey, is this transcript similar to anybody else, and how do we solve that, and what do you recommend?
Yeah.
It's super, super helpful.
I love it. It gave me several others. The one that's most relevant to share, and I will point out that we are recording this on July 7th, even though it's coming out on the 18th. Hopefully, what I'm going to share is over with by the 18th. But it says you're using it for medical troubleshooting with deep context. With this thing that's been going on with me, I've been not just consulting with my doctor, but also using ChatGPT. It says you've tracked ongoing health symptoms while correlating prescription timelines, referencing lab test results and their exact names, asking for second-order differential possibilities and why this is unique. Instead of just asking, what's this symptom, you treat GPT like a context-aware, persistent second opinion, making it part of your health data loop, all while still checking its advice critically. And it's been super helpful, especially when when I wake up with like one of the symptoms from this thing has been leg pain that happens in the middle of the night. Well, I'm not at my best critical thinking when I have had 2 hours of sleep and I'm suffering from pain. But feeding that data into ChatGPT is really helpful in getting some stuff out. And I think the combination of it, my own research, and my doctor is leading us to a diagnosis. I think I have shingles. I think I have a very mild case of shingles because probably because I got the vaccine a few years ago, I would assume. But that it seems like that's what the issue that I talked about in the episode a couple weeks ago is
fascinating.
Shingles. Yeah. But yeah, it's been really helpful. And I'll throw ideas at it and like, do you think it's this? And if so, why? If not, why not? And it really helps me narrow things down and all of that. Yeah, it's fascinating.
That's cool. I have
truly
more,
fascinating.
but we can chat after.
Sure.
Sponsor thing if you want, but
you're right, because the next thing that I want to do is talk about our sponsors. Because when it comes to growing your business, we all know engaging with customers is crucial. But how do you actually do it? Most of us don't have the time, the skills, or frankly, the spare brain power to handle marketing every single day. We're out here running businesses, not moonlighting as marketing wizards. And that's where our sponsor, Constant Contact, steps in. They've built an all-in-one platform that makes marketing easy, even if your idea of design is whatever font is already there. Email, social, text messages, events, landing pages. It's all in one dashboard. You can create killer campaigns in just a few clicks. They even have an AI content generator to help turn your napkin sketch idea into a polished message that actually sounds like you. With real-time reporting, automation tools, and hundreds of templates, Constant Contact gives your business the power to stand out, grow sales, and live the charmed life we talk about here every week. And hey, over 500,000 small businesses already trust them, and I'm really eager to get started. I love that they do more than just email. So unless you're trying to outsmart 500,000 entrepreneurs, I think maybe joining the crowd is a good idea. You can get a free 30-day trial when you go to ConstantContact.com. Try Constant Contact free for 30 days at ConstantContact.com. Again, ConstantContact.com. And our thanks to Constant Contact for sponsoring this episode. And, when we were kids, we all dreamed big, right? Astronaut, rock star, inventor of the world's first self-toasting bagel. Okay, maybe that one was just me. But then we grew up and those dreams evolved. Maybe now your dream is building a business, something real, something yours. And that dream, it can absolutely happen with our sponsor, Shopify. Shopify powers millions of businesses and handles 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. I know. Whether you're selling something big, niche, or downright weird, self-toasting bagels, anyone? Shopify makes it easy to build a beautiful storefront, process payments, manage inventory, and even run email and social media campaigns all from one place. You get AI tools to help you write product descriptions, templates to make your site shine, and world-class 24/7 support for when you need a hand. It's like having your own business SWAT team, but, with fewer helicopters. If you're ready to start selling, Shopify's ready to help you live that charmed life. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/businessbrain. Go to shopify.com/businessbrain. Again, shopify.com/businessbrain. And our thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. Shannon, one of the people that I'm connected with on LinkedIn is Dane Vahey, who is the head of strategic marketing at OpenAI.
Oh, nice.
And every now and then, Dane will share some creative use cases of ChatGPT.
Oh, I love it.
I know. And there were a few that in a recent post that Dane shared that I wanted to echo here on the show. One is ChatGPT in search. There is a browser extension for the Chrome browser that will pull up ChatGPT results instead of Google searches. Yeah. And I've got a link for it in the show notes already. And Dane says, if you've tried this before and thought it was slow, the speed has improved a ton, and it's a surprisingly useful way to layer AI on top of your day-to-day work. Just add the extension and you're all set. So yeah, that extension is cool. For sure. Yeah, I know. It's great. And I'll share it in our Slack too, so you can.
Perfect.
You don't have to dig through the show notes. Everybody else have to dig through the show notes. But that's okay. Yeah. Another one that I actually was doing this morning, I'd forgotten that this was in Dane's list, is editable text from PDFs and images. It's a quick hack. Take a screenshot of any image or PDF with text, upload it to ChatGPT, which you can do by pasting in too, and ask ChatGPT to give you editable text from what it sees in the image.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah.
I took it one step further earlier today. We have in one of our systems here, we have a list of our podcast hosts' email addresses and their names. But and you could copy this, but it's going to come in kind of weird. And I was trying to help one of the people on our team here, basically take this and use it to be able to invite people to an upcoming event that we're doing. And I thought, well, wait a minute, just like screenshot this, paste it into ChatGPT and say, hey, give me a comma separate, a CSV, separated value list of the email addresses here. Like, good to go. It's so good. ChatGPT is so good at taking things from one mode, right? As an image or whatever, and converting it to another mode. And it's also good at relating two sets of data that, at least at the beginning of the process, start off as different modes, of things. And it's worth remembering. And I think I talked about the example I came up with while I was at South by Southwest, where I said, this one guy and I thought we had met before. He was a photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he had his Google sheet of all the dates that he had been to. And I, of course, have my calendar. And it's like, well, ICS on one side, Google Sheet on the other, feed that into ChatGPT, and 90 seconds later or less, it's going to tell us exactly where we've been at the same time.
I love that.
Right? That's but otherwise, doing that manually would suck. That would be awful. But ChatGPT will just it's so like great. It's built for that kind of multimodal stuff. Oh, I really love it.
A lot of the feedback that I got when I asked, what I did differently with it was using it as almost as search. And I would say this, I've mentioned this a while back, but in case you missed that episode, having the app on your phone, the ChatGPT app, and turning on voice mode, it's a massive accelerant for anything you're trying to do, because You can have a direct conversation with it. It's tracking it. It keeps it in the historical data of a project that you're working on. Like I have a piece of property, and when I bought it, I knew nothing about wells, right? Water wells.
Okay.
And I had all kinds of issues. And finally, I just was driving home one day, and I turned on the voice thing, and I had like a 45-minute conversation, and that's a female voice that I've selected for mine. She and we just went back and forth. She queried me with questions to try to fine tune what was going on, offered up suggestions. And then I was just up there this past weekend, and I noticed that the well water, after doing some of the things that solved these other problems, I noticed it smelled a little like sulfur. And so I just hit it again, and I said, hey, remember our conversation about all our wells? Oh, yeah, of course. And I said, tell me what this means, and just gave me, oh, yeah, no big deal. If you just kind of slightly smell, this is what's going on. It's this time of year, organic material, yada, yada, yada. So the voice assistant allows you to have that conversation, and it's just waiting there for you.
Yes.
You just get to stop. You don't have to like, oh, I better respond quick. You can sit there like you've mentioned this.
Yes.
Dave. You could just ask the questions. It gives you some answers. And then 20 minutes or 20 days later, you can continue the conversation. And it's so powerful to have an assistant like that on your phone that can dive into anything. I mean, I have a hard time even clarifying how it's just a massive game changer for how you use AI. It's incredible.
Yeah, my daughter uses it quite a bit with her personal life and even work stuff that she does, and she's like, yeah, I haven't really used the the voice mode of it yet, and we were in the car, so I was like, okay, so I fired it up and I started having a conversation with it, and she's like, how have I missed out on this? This is amazing. She's like, this is crazy. It has inflection and all the stuff. I'm like,
it's a game.
And it keeps getting better.
It does keep getting better.
She's like,
it will be. I mean, it's just a tool I use all the time.
Time.
I can't type this stuff out. I'm just like, I just want to do this. No. I just need to know about this, and I want to go more in depth. And I just find myself using Google less and less for search.
Yeah. And well, now with this plugin, you might find it yourself.
Exactly.
Or extension, I guess. But yeah, less and less.
And and the number of you used to search Google and you would click and go to a business or go to a site with information. Well, now they're aggregating that, and their own AI is putting it up. And
absolutely,
as a business owner, you're going to need to shift into how your matter of fact. We should do an episode on this. Because it's SEO is shifting a lot. About maybe we could have an SEO person come back on the show and talk about doing SEO for AI.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I may just have we had Bodie from Stryker Digital on before. He was in the dumpster business at that time, but he then sold that business and went out on his own, or brought in some other guys and grew their digital business. So maybe we could have him on and he could educate us on how and why you need to be in the AI search results.
Yeah, I think we know why. It's the how.
Yeah.
How do you what structured data types exist to hint things so that you're in there correctly? Yeah,
that's right. That's right. So I'll reach out and see if we can get him on sometime in the upcoming episode.
Amazing. If you've got information on this or questions about it, folks, make sure you email us feedback@businessbrain.show. We'd love to hear from you. Go to businessbrain.show/review to review the show and get yourself entered into a drawing for a MacBook this year. And keep living that charmed life, huh? We'll see you next week.
See ya.